retrospection.
Hey.
It is the new year, 2019, and thus we're going to talk about our predictions and not so predictions.
Maybe what we want.
Things we'd like to see.
What we hope for.
I think those count as predictions.
For the year.
Well, I mean...
Desired predictions.
I can say that I want a new Grand Theft Auto.
But you don't predict that.
But I don't think I'm going to get
Things you'd like to see. We can't always get what we want. What a pity.
Well,
To start off, we are going to...
predict Half-Life 3 this year.
Ooh.
This is the year.
E3.
Starting out strong.
E3.
We're going to be real disappointed.
Sorry guys. Oh man.
E3.
What have I done? I just
Would Valve even make an appearance at E3, or would they just like...
when would they do that? I don't even...
They probably secretly announce it in some obscure way and make it like a puzzle to unsolve.
I feel like it's like their duty
thing.
now to be unclear about anything they ever do.
Yeah.
We'll hear first on Valve News Network. That's where we'll that's where we'll get it.
Come at us, Tyler.
He'll have this caps lock title. It's like Half-Life 3 confirmed release date. He'll get like millions and billions of views.
When that happens, he'll have the least clickbaity video because he'll put it up so fast. The whole title will be like misspelled in lowercase. The thumbnail will be nothing but his face,
Oh my gosh! I have to.
And everybody will still watch it because they'll know that he just fell apart at the announcement.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna look through a quick, comprehensive list of what will be releasing this year that we know of.
We'll list what we care to list, not all the garbage.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't know, but that's fine. You know.
This is found, it's a, regular update on GameSpot.
Mm-hmm.
So they put out these kinds of articles every so often to keep people updated, but we're just going to utilize this asset we have.
Yep, might as well.
So for January... The first things we have, in about a week, we have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which is, for the 3DS, it's kind of like a remake of a Game Boy Advance title. It's similar gameplay to like Mario RPG or Paper Mario, but it's pretty cool. Has some odd twist to it. But then we have New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which doesn't really need any explaining.
It's kind of cool. It's the same day. Both of those are coming out on the same day. And those are more minor Nintendo releases, right? But still.
Yeah. Would you say the next notable one is Walking Dead?
Probably.
We've covered that a lot.
That's pretty notable. Walking Dead Final Season Episode 3 that no one thought would happen until they swooped in and saved it.
This is quick, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they were working on it before, but I feel like after all that chaos that happened, this is pretty soon.
They had episode 3 written, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
They kind of do it as they go, right? So I think they had a lot of it ready for 3, but they weren't going to be able to do it because Telltale.
Yeah. No more.
Now it's happening. They're finishing it. They've got all the voice actors. They're all ready for it.
Yeah, slated for the 15th. So
very soon.
I had no idea, to be honest, until just now. But
I didn't know The Walking Dead was a game until just now.
Oh, yeah, it's like a story. You choose the direction you go. Gameplay isn't more varied than like walking around and talking to people and
interacting with objects.
And every so often shooting at something.
Maybe you guys did mention it though.
Yeah, we did. In our first episode, I think we talked about it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Because that was when Telltale was the people who made it.
Because I remember the Telltale episode.
Yeah, but that was kind of related.
For some reason, it didn't. I guess it didn't click in my head that I cared about it because when we made that episode, I hadn't watched The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He's been
now I've watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's been random bits of it as my wife watches it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess now I'm like, there's a video game.
Yeah.
But I guess
the game's kind of.
I guess I knew that.
From what I know, the games kind of follow more of the comic world of The Walking Dead more so than the show. Right. They never cross over really. There's some characters that show up, but there's never any real crossover. Anyway,
on the 25th, we have Resident Evil 2.
The remake of Resident Evil 2 from 1998.
I thought I've never played Resident Evil. I thought that was a PS2 title. Apparently, it's a PS1
PlayStation
title.
1,
so that's exciting.
Dreamcast,
more
Windows
HD remakes from that console. There was a lot of stuff on
This
there.
one looks real good.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been. I mean, as far as like third-person horror games, I haven't been as excited about one since like Dead Space. Like to play one. It gives me that kind of vibe, with in the modern element. So that'll be fun.
On January 29th, we have Kingdom Hearts 3.
Probably the big one for this year, honestly, so far.
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest one.
I'm kind of hoping it...
You say Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes.
Aren't there like 12 of those already?
There's 3 main ones, but...
Maybe we'll do a 4-hour episode one day and just that's how long it would take.
We'll do a Kingdom Hearts lore episode.
Oh no, that would be such a mess.
I think we just want to start a new podcast for that.
An episode for each little part of lore. Oh god.
Kingdom Hearts
I'm sure there's already a show out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's plenty.
For that.
We'll keep going at this rate. We're not gonna have any time for anything else.
Okay. Are there any in January other than that?
No, that's the big ones.
February,
a good. I mean, I haven't really played too much of the Far Cry series. I know you played the older ones.
I played the second one, and it had that issue that some modern shooters have, where it just gets kind of stale after a while. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. It just was a lot of the same.
I played a bit.
I know people like it a lot. So
I like
it was Far Cry 2, so it was a long time ago.
I've liked their kind of different ones where they had like Far Cry Blood Dragon, right, with that really heavy 80s aesthetic going on. Mm-hmm. It was like a 80s VHS vision of the future kind of thing. And then they had Far Cry Primal, which was like, Stone Age. And no one's done a game in the Stone Age. That was
kind of weird.
Totally new. Woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. But their main installments, I haven't played Far Cry 3 or 4 or 5 for that matter. And this new one, on February 15th, is Far Cry New Dawn, which apparently takes place after 5 in a post-apocalyptic sort of setting.
That's right.
I guess
Fallout 76, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the ending of Far Cry 5 ends, and one of the endings you can get is like a nuclear apocalypse kind of setting, so this follows that. But yeah, competition for Fallout, I suppose. Not that that's too hard.
There's nothing else that's really poking out to me.
On the same day, for me, Metro Exodus is also coming out on February 15th. Okay. And I've loved the Metro games. And there's another competitor for post-apocalyptic games. Again, not hard, but still, I love the Metro games. And this one, the first earlier games, they're like in a metro tunnels underground after the apocalypse, And this one's more like open world outside in like a mutated post-apocalyptic hellscape.
I like apocalyptic things.
It's freaky looking. Like there's bears and stuff that are all mutated, and the game looks freaking scary.
You'll have to show me gameplay or something of that because I'm intrigued.
So the only other one for February is Anthem, February 22nd, which is by BioWare, the creators of Mass Effect and
BioShock.
No.
BioShock. Frick.
You loser.
I am such a loser.
It's okay.
I always think
you really
that
think
because of
BioWare made BioShock?
Who made BioShock?
Irrational Games.
That's right.
And 2K.
See, I'm learning. We're all learning here.
I think 2K published it and Irrational Games made it. Irrational Games isn't around anymore, but
yeah.
They're still working on a new BioShock game under a different thing.
There's some. I've heard some predictions about that, but
Anthem.
We'll continue.
I'm not excited for Anthem, really. It's there, but yeah.
I've heard a lot of mixed things about Anthem. So.
Yeah, people want Mass Effect pretty much, especially after the disappointment that Andromeda was. So, moving on.
March doesn't really stick. There's Devil May Cry.
Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Yeah, that one
really liked the first Division game, so that's interesting.
So,
and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is the next game by the Dark Souls developers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's got the Dark Souls-y kind of gameplay with kind of an Assassin's Creed element added into it.
That would be
and a more
really
roaming
cool.
sort of. I mean, it's got the same connected world and all that the other games do, but it's.
Oh, this list is.
The gameplay's a lot more like dynamic than Dark Souls, where you're just kind of running around. And it's got kind of an Eastern
You'll
setting.
need to show me that one too.
Yeah. It's pretty cool looking.
That one would be cool.
I like a lot of demons and such involved in that one. That's March 22nd. And April, only got 2 things
Mortal
on this list in
Kombat.
April. Mortal Kombat 11.
Trippy, it comes out on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That's a perfect game for the Switch.
It's funny because a lot of people have drawn the comparison of like Mortal Kombat on Nintendo in the past, where like the Super Nintendo, they toned down the violence and made the blood sweat or something like that. So there was no blood, and they like Mortal Kombat's all about the violence.
Yep.
So
Ripping out someone's whole
it's
spine.
it's fun to see like full circle, like just unfiltered Mortal Kombat on Nintendo.
It's great.
So
Right where it belongs.
right, the family-friendly console. I don't even remember.
There's a lot of, I'm noticing there's a lot of post-apocalyptic things happening this year. Days Gone is another
Makes you
one there.
wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah. People seem to be a little bit focused on that lately.
It was like the mid-2000s all over again, or the late.
That was
In between 5 and 10.
Even that was more focused on zombies.
That's
right?
true. That was just zombies.
But now it's like straight up apocalypse.
Like nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, Days Gone is zombies, but so I'll give him that. Days Gone is the only zombie game so far on this list, other than Resident Evil 2, which is a remake.
Nothing compares to Left 4 Dead for me. I don't know what it is. I just
Rage
anyways.
2, pretty cool.
Well, Left 4 Dead doesn't have a story.
That's
Really.
true. There's
It does.
we can talk about that. We could do a look back.
It's more
episode or
dialogue,
something.
Interactions between characters. Rather
Right,
than
but its
a
main
linear
focus
story.
isn't really on
It's all the
story. It's more
gameplay.
gameplay than anything.
I think that's why I like it so much. It's
Well, the
because
dialogue and stuff serves the gameplay, right? It fits in with what you're physically actively doing, rather than some broader story.
But
there's
if you're the kind
some
of person
things in
who
there.
likes story, then you might prefer a different type of zombie apocalypse game.
Does this only go to August?
Those are the ones that are like to be announced. Releases.
Oh, really? So
There's still some.
is there nothing announced
Rage
after
2,
August?
Crash Team Racing.
Oh,
in June.
Man, come on.
Lest we forget.
21st. Well, I was just looking ahead. I wasn't skipping
Okay,
June.
okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And Crash Team Racing is releasing everywhere, unlike the Crash Bandicoot remake, which was just PS4.
We were talking about how we wanted it to be cross-platform, but not likely. But that would be cool. Things we'd like, not exactly a prediction.
Because
But
I'd like that to be a trend,
well, yeah, we want more cross-platform because
Now that Sony
let people
demonstrated
play
they
where
could
they're
do it.
comfortable.
Sony demonstrated they can do it. Fortnite did it already.
Yeah,
Of course they could do it, they just never wanted to.
yeah.
All they have to do
they're
is push a freaking
stubborn.
button. Boom, you can do it.
Yeah,
It's been demonstrated.
I don't see the problem because your exclusive games, especially for Sony, who has a lot of very good exclusive games, is what's selling their console. So what does it matter if third-party game makers have their games cross-platform play?
If it's
See,
already on their consoles,
it's not like your exclusives are going to lose their value. They're still exclusives. People
Yeah.
are going to want to buy your console.
Well,
because
look
of
at
that.
God of War. People got the PS4 just for that this year. It was the game of the year.
They're so stubborn. It's anyway.
It doesn't hurt anything, but
Some other
are
notable
these?
ones that we don't have a release date for. Let's see. I don't.
Code Vein is another one that's kind of Dark Souls-y. It has an anime sort of aesthetic going on.
There's a lot of Final Fantasy coming out on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi's Mansion 3. We can
Ooh.
talk about that in a bit, maybe. I don't know.
Psychonauts
Depends.
2. Pretty cool.
Psychonauts 2 is a big one. Rage 2. They
Gen-
had it up there.
A new Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Supposedly a
we'll
Star
see
Wars
how that goes.
RPG.
We'll see how the freaking
Good grief. Not a good track record. for that.
Wolfenstein Youngblood, and then Yoshi's Crafted World, and World War Z 2. Shut up. So, yeah, we made it, through the list? We're done?
Yeah, we finished off Wolfenstein Youngblood, and we're rudely interrupted
Yeah.
by nothing.
Aliens. All right, so here we come to our predictions segment. We are going to start. David could not make it today, unfortunately. But I got some predictions from him, and it's pretty much just the gist of it is that there will be a Nintendo Direct in January, and it will include these things. It'll have an official release date of Yoshi's Crafted World, and it'll show more gameplay of Luigi's Mansion 3 and give us a release date for that. And then he says maybe they'll give us Animal Crossing footage and give us a broad release like fall 2019. And then he says, oh, and maybe some Fire Emblem 3 houses in there too. And the thing here that I want to focus on is Animal Crossing.
Just to clarify, we like David's input because he has a tendency to be somewhat accurate.
I think he's paid attention a bit more than us to Nintendo for longer.
He knows Nintendo more than us.
So, it's really interesting. Wasn't there something he said that was right about? Was it about Smash? I don't remember.
I think it was about Luigi's Mansion.
Oh,
maybe. Or
anyway, so
didn't he tweet that there would be a Luigi's Mansion after he saw the Smash Direct? And then they announced Luigi's Mansion in the next Direct.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But
either way.
So my thing here is apparently Reggie Fils-Aimé, the president of Nintendo of America, came out and was like, we usually like to release games no more than 6 months after we announce them. And so what I'm thinking that's different from this, which David might be right, because Animal Crossing is a big hitter, and they want their big hitters in the fall so that people will buy them over Christmas. So, but I
hope.
Yeah, because Reggie said that, they announced Animal Crossing, in October, was it? Is that when that Direct was?
I don't know. 6
months from then would be April or May. And I'm thinking we might get a late spring or early
summer.
Which is a good release for a game like that.
Yeah, so because Animal Crossing is based on seasons, and you want to start the game in the summer where it's all green and luscious.
Animal Crossing, I don't know, it's a pretty good summer game. I guess.
When did they announce Luigi's Mansion? Was it around the same time?
I think so.
That would be the heavy hitter for this year, if anything.
That and Pokemon.
I would think they would release Luigi's Mansion in the fall.
Pokemon,
I guess that would be a big hitter. Huh?
October.
Pokemon's probably going to be their biggest hitter. Pokemon Generation 8. Generation 8 official. Let's Go was just an offshoot. Like, let's try and get some people introduced to it.
No,
this is their
just buy 2 for the Switch that came out not too long ago.
Yeah, that was like Let's Go.
Oh.
That wasn't a mainline Pokemon game. Okay. That was an offshoot. That was just
a
little remaster.
That will be a big hitter.
Yeah, people are gonna. Tons of people are talking about Pokemon. We haven't revealed anything about it yet. I don't think.
I don't play Pokemon.
Other than somehow it's confirmed that it'll be this year, but
mainly it's because I don't want to be addicted.
I played Let's Go and I couldn't really get into it that much. I got into it a little bit.
I want to try that one a lot.
But I have the cartridge. I mean, if you get a Switch, I'll let you borrow it.
I'll be getting one this year sometime. Maybe tax return time.
There you go.
And you can get Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever played Animal Crossing?
Yeah, a little bit on the Wii.
Oh, okay.
Like at a friend's house on the Wii kind of thing, but I liked it. My wife played way more of that than me. She wants that.
That's probably why you would get a Switch.
Yeah. I'd probably get Zelda for me and then Animal Crossing for her.
So, oh man. While we're on the subject of Nintendo, I just want to say what I'd like to see this year is SNES games on Nintendo Switch Online, the same style as the NES games, because Reggie said that... Was it Reggie? It was Reggie. He said the way we would interact with legacy content in the future would be through Nintendo Switch Online, and that's when he was getting interviewed about the NES and SNES classics getting taken off of production. And they were asking him about an N64 classic, and that's what he said. So, that's my hope. I think...
It's a safe bet.
They should skip straight to GameCube. Let's get some GameCube games on there.
Yeah, that's what I want. That kind of goes along with my next
GameCube games are big enough that they'd probably end up doing... they do a remake before they just stuck them on there.
Yeah, there's been rumors of them doing a Zelda game each year, which is a lot for them only having one solely active console. Like, this 3DS is garbage to me now. Freaking dog. God.
Is that my dog?
Okay,
and we're back again.
Hello!
After no interruptions.
None whatsoever. First episode went so well. Maybe we should pause.
I'm okay. Just leave this all in.
Just leave this all in. Maybe we'll put it at the end.
Especially this. Look at that. Look at that red lining.
So let's see. We were talking about Zelda.
Yeah, you said Zelda game every year.
I think they're gonna be HD remakes or something. So that way they'd have the time that they're like spending time working on it. But then,
how much remake are we talking? You think?
I don't know.
Like
Just
a
like
port
the
remake or like a remake
HD remake. Like
they just take the game engine and kind of enhance it a bit.
No, like
Well, Wind Waker wasn't an
Waker.
entire. It wasn't like an entire redo. It was just like
enhanced.
Yeah.
Right.
Port enhanced.
They just
it was HD.
They updated the textures, shaders, and that was mostly it. Maybe
Yeah.
some models.
That's what I'm saying. Turn it
so
HD.
a light remaster.
Yeah.
Maybe not even light. Just a
Well,
remaster.
yeah, just a remaster. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Just remasters.
A polish, make it crisper.
So, I think that's. Do I think they're gonna announce stuff like that this year? Maybe. It's a possibility.
I don't know. A Zelda every year, like
That's what the rumor's been.
Well, rumors.
But think if they don't have to make a full game, if they just have to enhance a game, then it makes it possible.
Yeah, but how many Zelda games do they have? They'll be done.
You want to count?
Okay, the Game Boy ones.
And they have plenty of source
Do you know
material.
how many?
Exclude the handhelds here.
They've got 2 on the DS. They've got probably like 3 on the Game Boy Advance. I don't
They
know.
have
2.
like a couple for the Color and for the Game Boy Advance.
They've got A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. There's a lot of them,
Why
but
would they remake a 3DS one?
I don't know.
They should
There have been ports going back and forth between the 2 consoles.
They should remaster them and kind of bundle them together over time.
That would be awesome. That's what I would like.
Do like all the kind of more similar era games in a bundle and then do that over time throughout the series.
They should port everything to Switch.
All of it.
So like
Every game ever made ever.
The Wind Waker remake. Switch.
They need to put that on the Switch because I just want a classic Zelda game on there. And please,
I think doing one by
the
one.
original isn't good enough.
One by one seems interesting to me. If they
I
did
want-
that.
That seems like a good money making.
It would be good money making, but
I want A Link to the
business
Past.
to make money. The business
Why?
of making money.
I don't get why they haven't done this yet.
Done.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Anyways,
if they did like a remaster of like 3 old Nintendo games in one package for like $30 or $40, that would sell like nuts.
That's true.
nuts
As
sell
opposed to
real
just
fast,
one
too.
for like $20,
Yeah.
They would sell way more if they just bundled them like that.
Probably, yeah.
But you have to wait longer, maybe. So that'd be interesting to see if they did that. I don't think that'll happen this year, though. Maybe they'll announce that like at the end of the year for next year.
I'm going to skip over this one because I changed my mind. I don't think they're actually going to do that. You'll remain in mystery.
Know what?
So,
They'll never know.
do you want me to say?
Well, now you have to say it.
What is it? Let's see.
I want to see a new version of Mario Brothers.
No, you're not skipping this because that's what I was going to talk about.
Oh, really? Okay.
How convenient.
Well, let's talk about it now.
No, because David tweeted that he thought there wasn't a Super Mario Maker port yet because they were going to make a new version of Super Mario Bros.
So we're talking something that's like has a similar visual style of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, where there's full 3D backgrounds. The levels aren't just 2D textures that have been used over and over again to comprise the level. It's all 3D platformer levels, but in a 2D view style. And so that way you'd have a rich world.
That would make it hard to implement into Mario Maker, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, what else would it be if it's not that?
It would just be...
They can still make tiles that are 3D that fit. But anyway, this is what I think is they would drop new off of Super Mario Bros. And have something else if they did this style. Yeah, that's basically it.
But mainly, I want Mario Maker on the Switch. Really bad, I want it. And I don't know if I'll get it this year, but
that's
ever.
Our hope.
I assume they'll have it at some point.
I think the reason they didn't support it for so long, I don't know, maybe it's still going, but they delete a lot of user content over time, really ridiculously. But I think it's because they don't want to run those servers, and that's not what Nintendo's here to do. They don't have server infrastructure. They're terrible at it. If they wanted to do that kind of stuff, they'd have to team up with some other company that has cloud service or something.
Well, we're paying them now for service, so they should
do
something.
They should man up
they
and
should
do
make
it.
their online play better.
Anyway, that's
But I'd really like to have Mario Maker this year.
Yeah, and it works perfectly for the Switch in handheld mode because you can just make the levels in handheld mode. Or someone else in a different podcast mentioned Toad Treasure Tracker. Have you guys seen that title? It's basically like a 3D puzzle game, but it was first released on the Wii U, and it uses the touchscreen heavily to move parts of the level and grab things. And they implemented it by, like, when you're in docked mode, when they ported it over, the gyroscope acts as a pointer on your screen, kind of like the Wii remote.
Yeah.
Only it's just your Pro controller, and you can click on stuff with the gyroscope pointer. And I think it would work out if they had something similar to that to make levels with in Mario Maker. That, or they could just have
ideal,
that, or you could just use a pointer with your joystick and things onto the screen.
You could just use it handheld when you make levels.
Yeah, they have to have a way to do both, but that's my thinking there. What I think we'll see this year for sure is an updated Switch model. We've already talked about this a bit, but
I don't know that they will.
I think there might be one with an improved screen, at least.
What do you mean? Like
a different type of screen.
Like
that has better image quality and has better battery.
Like 1080p?
Yeah, maybe.
1080p with a better battery?
Switch Pro.
I think so. I don't think I don't actually think they're going to make a lower end Switch. They already have it. It's the Switch. I think they're going to make a higher end Switch.
I just hope they never do anything like the new 3DS.
Well, they might. I'm not certain that they won't.
Oh, they won't do it this year.
So.
But the new 3DS is stupid. Oh, here's a game that's only for the new 3DS. Well,
yeah,
I have
like
a
all
3DS.
the SNES games. Stupidness. Yeah. Is that all?
Yep.
Okay. My next guess is that there's going to be a PS5 reveal and an Xbox 2 reveal. Not necessarily those names, but I think it'll happen by the end of the year. we'll see. Also, I think Sony is going to fully accept cross-platform.
If they do a system reveal, it will most likely happen at E3.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Sony's not going to be at E3.
They're not?
Oh, that's right.
They're not going to be there.
Right.
They're skipping it.
So it won't be there.
They're going to have their own...
They're dropping out of the video game market.
That's the logical answer.
Sony's done. It's not the moneymaker, obviously.
After their president already said there's a need for the next console, they're dropping out.
There's a need for the next console.
They're
but
sick
it ain't
of
going to
it.
be us.
Quit while you're ahead.
After all the cross-platform stuff, they were like, all right, we can't do it anymore. So, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Those are my predictions. Looking at you, Ben.
Oh, gosh. That was intimidating.
All eyes on you.
Well,
both.
I don't have any, game console or whatever. I have more specific game predictions.
Yeah.
Shoot.
About stuff from this year. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, we already talked about that. And I just think that game is going to be, just barely beneath what people are expecting it to be, but not enough to matter kind of thing.
So it's not as good as the hype, but it's still really good.
Yeah, so it'll still sell really well. And people will praise it and all that, but it'll be just barely not as good as it could be.
I think that's a pretty realistic expectation.
I think you should predict that for any game, because I think if you think it's going to be way better than it will, then you're disappointing yourself.
I mean, there's the other side where you're like, it's going to be horrible, which...
I mean,
people like to say that, but
you'll never be disappointed if you think every game's going to be horrible, because you'll either have your expectations met or it'll surpass them.
That or you just hate video games, so it is terrible to you.
That's true. That's a miserable life.
Then you need to get a different hobby.
Why are you listening to this if that's
If you hate video games, you're probably terrible at them. Because you probably... I mean, anyone that can figure out a video game can find one they like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Niches for everyone. So
and either you suck at all of them or you've never tried.
Yeah.
So
generally speaking, people can pick up on.
My wife is so terrible at video games.
I mean, even if you're doing
she likes Minecraft
games,
though.
But she managed to figure out Minecraft enough to play it.
So the next one I would say would be Red Dead Redemption 2. It'll stay popular throughout the year. It won't really dip too much. It'll keep a strong player base. Rockstar will keep updating it. As far as I know, they're not doing any mainline story DLCs of any kind. It's just updates to the multiplayer element GTA does.
Yeah, I think it'll perform similarly to GTA 5.
They'll keep balancing it. They've
got it down.
GTA 5 will keep its player base. Red Dead will keep its player base. They won't, it'll just be kind of smooth for them. Could be totally wrong, but I think it'll cruise on by. Especially because in the world of multiplayer gaming, I think Red Dead Online is pretty big right now. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of one of the premier, other than some of the Nintendo titles that are around, like Smash.
Well, their online is garbage, so I don't think compared to online experience now.
And that's not on Switch. So for every other console and system, it's Red Dead's kind of the big one right now.
Right.
Yeah,
that I can think of. So that'll stay pretty well. Fallout 76, I could go into this a lot. I'm just going to do a really quick little snippet. I think it's going to slowly update to fix all the bugs that are happening and add new content, but it won't be enough to matter because they'll do it too slowly and they won't add enough. Because at the current time, there's not enough to keep you playing for any meaningful amount of time after you finish the game.
The damage to the game's reputation has been done.
Yeah.
They
basically,
can't really... They're better off putting resources into a new game.
Yeah,
which is scary.
Or a really, really big update.
But they really
really
have to do some stuff in order to, as far as customer service aspect. You can't release a super buggy, crappy game and leave it like that.
No.
Yeah, so that's why I say they're gonna again. I emphasize slowly fix stuff. There'll be things that will be in the game for way too long, and there'll be things that didn't need to be fixed right away.
Well, we've already
seen that happening, where it's oh great, you guys fixed that bug that no one ever talked about, but this other one that's a big deal you didn't even touch on at all. Mm-hmm. That'll keep going. They'll add new content, but again, it won't be enough to matter.
But you do have to consider the difficulty of fixing certain bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Can play
for sure.
And when you fix a bug, a lot of times you make a new one in the process.
So
especially when it's a big open world, all online, especially. Like, this is, apparently the Elder Scrolls Online had a very similar launch, according to what I've heard. Yeah. It was very buggy. People had a lot of problems with it. But it's turned around.
That's what we in the programming community call a regression.
Yeah.
When you put a feature or a bug fix, and then it causes a bug that wasn't in the previous version.
Gosh, every update they've done to Fallout 76 has done that. It's just added something else that's a problem. Luckily some of the big ones they have fixed, but and then all in all, the game will keep kind of a core player base and players trickling in, but it's gonna be they're gonna lose a lot of their overhead player base by summertime, in my opinion.
I think that's pretty realistic.
And maybe in the fall they'll pull out all the stops and do a big update of some kind, but I don't really think so.
Yeah, you'd mentioned, or no, Tyler, was it you who's talked about either putting resources on something else, or who said that?
Just barely, when I said they should put resources into a new game.
Yeah.
Rather than focus on Fallout.
That's scary to me. We were talking about this earlier, but if they were to do that, I hope that it's not Elder Scrolls 6, because that needs to be a sure hit. That
should be 6 years out from now, from what I know.
Yeah, that is.
Apparently Starfield's going to be their next game, 3 years from now. So,
and the only reason I mention is because there was that one guy who made the prediction. The analyst that predicted it would release by the end of the year, which is
what a mistake that would be, because there's no way they have a new engine ready to run it in.
Oh no!
And there's no way, with everything that just happened with Fallout.
And I need to say, they better have a new engine ready for that game when it releases, or else they're dead to me. So
at least a very much improved version of the one they have.
Please no,
if that's even possible.
Just make a new one.
We would hope.
But yeah,
So there's that, and then Animal Crossing will release. I think it's going to release by midsummer, and it'll be enjoyable. People will like it.
Cool.
Very quaint.
The Animal Crossing fan base is pretty solid.
It's pretty freaking solid.
I don't think you could really disappoint Animal Crossing fans without. It's you'd have to do a lot.
You'd have to get rid of things in the game that were in previous.
If you're just adding things, it's fine.
Yeah,
people will be happy.
They'll add new features,
and I think that's what they're gonna do.
Characters,
the
new
aspects
gameplay.
of the 3DS one though, with you being mayor and stuff, they could go a different direction with the game a little. So you're not mayor. But
I would like you to stay mayor, but I would like more opportunities along with being mayor, like having jobs and stuff. But
right, yeah,
that would be good. I could see that happening in the new one.
Some things I wanted to touch on really fast before we close out. This stuff with Epic Games and Discord.
Oh yeah, right.
Do you think anything crazy will happen?
What, am I out of the loop here?
So Epic Games, they made Fortnite. They're releasing a store where they only take 10% cut from the sales. Steam and everything else takes 30% right now. That's the standard.
Steam takes 30%? Jeez,
yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Well, so does the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Really?
Yeah. So
after this, Discord actually came out
a
with
day
their
after,
store.
I think.
They're doing what, 8%?
Yeah, they're doing an 8% cut, and they're starting a store. So, what do we think will happen with this stuff going on?
I think that Steam will drop their cut, and maybe not by as much, because they do have the following.
They have the visibility.
And the visibility. Right. They already have the base of people.
I think people will still use Steam even if the cut's lower elsewhere.
I think Steam
they'll just release across all of them.
Right. I don't think companies will pull out of Steam. But I think Steam might lower it.
See,
I think startups might go for other ones. Discord
the only exclusives we're really seeing for Epic Games is indies.
Yeah.
So
it's because indies have a hard time getting started on Steam because of the way it's set up already.
It's so overblown with shovelware on Steam. Yeah. So that's why
Steam they've hired those people that they're gonna have working on some games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, and they've already made so much bank because they pretty much have had the market for.
This is tricky because do any of you guys think one of these companies will fail at their goal? Because for me, it definitely not Steam. Steam's gonna be sturdy.
What platform was competing with Steam a couple years ago? Was it EA?
Origin. I think it was Origin. That's EA's.
Oh, really? I had
that
no idea.
That was doing the online thing where you could buy games.
OnLive was doing streaming.
No, there was basically an equivalent of Steam from a different company, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, there's.
I know there's a lot of big companies that have made their own mini store for just their games.
EA has Battle.net or Origin. Blizzard has Battle.net with World of
their
Warcraft,
6
Overwatch.
games.
Oh, that's not competitive.
Is Origin only?
Origin is EA, and they have
is only EA.
EA has a lot of games.
They have some indie games on there too. They have their Origin Access thing where you pay $5 a month to get you can access their vault and you can play those games anytime.
But their games are still on Steam.
Yeah,
I don't see
some of them.
Aren't they all?
There are some that aren't on Steam that are just on Origin. But I don't know if they were ever competing with Steam. Maybe I missed that.
So what were you thinking?
I must be wrong then.
As far as someone failing, do you think that'll happen? Because we have Discord. Discord has the social following. People can interact with each other easily. That's what everybody uses to communicate in the gaming industry now. Then you have Epic.
Well, if they don't have as much money behind them, they could make some sort of mistake. Some mistake that Steam's made where a game is priced wrong and then a zillion people buy it.
Yeah.
Or something. That sort of mistake could put a smaller company out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if Epic will fail.
Epic seems kind of big-headed right now, but they have the massive amount of eyes on them from Fortnite.
But people go to Epic for Fortnite.
This is a very swift and quick and risky move for them to take, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe it's not that risky, but...
I don't know. I'm surprised that these platforms take 30%. I didn't know that. You're doing essentially nothing but giving people a download link.
For one, look at the demographic that's playing Fortnite, right? It's a lot of young kids. It seems like from what I've seen.
Fortnite is definitely a younger.
They're not buying indie games, are they?
They're not buying games. That's
why
they're playing Fortnite free to play.
I feel like Discord
is people like us.
I feel like Discord could have a degree of success. I feel like if somebody fails, it will be Epic Store, and I feel like it will be a massive fail.
Because maybe they're writing to,
They might be in a high... We don't know what'll happen with Fortnite in the next... I mean, they keep adding on stuff to the game. Maybe it'll get unstable over time.
What if
we don't know?
Kind of loses its favor, it's a fad and people just stop playing it? Then Epic Games has no visibility anymore.
Something that gets as popular as fast as Fortnite usually does come down.
This is why Fortnite has been such an anomaly, is because it got popular so quickly, but it has maintained popularity for a year.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of in the air what'll happen.
But maybe that is because they didn't just try and ride out on the fame that they've been adding updates and stuff.
So it's kind of... the success of Epic Games Store is kind of tied to the fate of Fortnite.
I think so.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment? I would say that's the case, because that's where everybody's coming from to get their launcher and stuff.
Yeah.
Most people know. They have a chance, because when you're coming out at 8%, you're going to get a lot of indie games.
Yeah.
And I think can these companies say the game, what if the company prices the game a little cheaper because they're only taking 8%? Then it will entice people to go over to that.
That's true.
Site.
You're saying developers would price their games lower.
Being priced
They might
differently
price
based-
their game a little lower. So then
So
you
then
might
they
see
get-
a thing where games are priced different based on what platform you get them from.
Yeah, like
That
you
would-
get the same indie game
That
on
would cause
Steam.
a mess. That would threaten Steam
Yeah.
if they did that.
All right.
But there's
that would be a
there's really
major
no
threat to Steam.
there's really no
boy.
enticement
They'd have to
for
change real fast.
developers to do that I can
Yeah.
think of.
I think big developers will probably stick to Steam, right? Is that
Because they have the user base.
they have the user base, even though there's a lot of
Discord
shovelware in
has a
there,
big
it's-
user base.
They
but
have the money behind them too, because if Steam makes a mistake and sells 1 million copies of a game for a penny because some algorithm went wrong, they have the money to fix it.
Yeah.
So a big company can rest easy.
So are you
putting your
leaning
trust
more
in-
towards Discord failing then?
No, I think Discord will be better than Epic.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Epic has
Is that what we
smaller
all think then?
resources, but Epic's might
If
be...
anyone does fail, it's Epic.
Yeah, Discord has smaller
Okay.
resources, but they're very like... I think Epic is kind of...
And that's not to say we don't like Epic. I think Fortnite's a great game. I think it's actually fun. Genuinely fun. You haven't tried it, so shut up.
It's fun. It's not something that I would regularly play, but whenever I have played it, I found it fun.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't obsessively play it.
I think with that, we will end our predictions for this year, and we will jump back to this at the end of 2019 in December, and we'll see how we did. And
Probably all wrong.
we'll look forward to it.
That's the spirit.
And remember, Half-Life 3.
Yes, happening this year. Definitely.
We called it. We're happy.
Half-Life 3.
I mean, plenty of people called it back in the day, but nowadays no one's calling it because.
They've all given up.
Nobody thinks it's actually
They
going
all
to happen.
have clinical depression by now.
But Half-Life 3 may not come out this year, but it will be next. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We got
Announced for 2024 release.
Get delayed a couple of years. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. We will see you later. Bye.